Elon Musk is a man of means, a man of brains, and a man on a mission. Since Russia and Ukraine started fighting, he has briefly stepped out of his engineering office duties and activated his military version. The man is breathing fire at Russia, and guess what he's up to? Building military spacecraft. So how far is the billionaire willing to go to save Ukraine? And is this latest pronouncement a threat or a real-time talk? Let's find out. The Russian invasion of Ukraine is advancing into its fourth week, and it seems Musk is now taking things too seriously, way beyond just providing the internet for Ukrainians. Reportedly, the SpaceX founder is busy at work, developing a military spacecraft that he hopes will be used against Russia. Just days ago, images showing a mass of Russian tanks and armored vehicles making their way through northern Ukraine toward the country's beleaguered capital surfaced on the internet. The convoy stretched for more than 40 miles. The Kremlin's generals are still trying to find a path through stubborn Ukrainian resistance. The Russian push to capture the capital comes amid reports that the Kremlin is growing frustrated at the lack of progress in the early stages of the war. And if by any chance Musk's plan comes to fruition, then the Russian mission will be twice as hard. As a believer in technology, Musk knows well the importance of space-based capabilities in today's modern world, and especially in technologically advanced armed forces. Satellite communications, precise positioning and navigation, time synchronization, as well as space-based intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance bring inestimable advantages to the modern warfighter. The military played a leading role in developing space capabilities and was the primary user of space-based services during the early years of the space era. Russian Defense Ministry officials said the country used a new hypersonic missile in an attack on Ukraine on Friday, March the 18th, marking its first use in combat. The hypersonic missile, called Kinzhal, which loosely translates to dagger in Russian, was used in an attack on a large underground warehouse in southwestern Ukraine, according to Bloomberg News, which cited that Russia's claim had yet to be independently verified. With the war now getting this ugly, Musk's idea of developing a military spacecraft will be as timely as it can be and highly increases the chances of Ukraine winning this fight. Hypersonic missiles are weapons designed to fly at speeds greater than 5 times the speed of sound, which is about 3,800 miles per hour. Their speed and ability to maneuver themselves to a target make them extremely difficult to track and shoot down. The United States, Russia, China, and North Korea have been developing hypersonic weapons, some of which are launched into space in pursuit of long-range flight and maneuverability. Russia's Kinzhal hypersonic missile is an air-to-ground weapon carried on Russian MiG-31K fighter jets and has a reported range of 1,240 miles. Through SpaceX, Musk and his team will have to develop something similar, if not better. Russian President Vladimir Putin has said that the country is also developing a hypersonic intercontinental ballistic missile called Avangard that will travel to reach targets around the world. North Korea also claims to have tested its hypersonic missile this year. Last August, China, a close confidant of Russia in this war, reportedly launched a hypersonic missile test on a Long March rocket, with the US military testing hypersonic technology in a series of small rocket launches in October. Musk, therefore, has the upper hand in designing something more robust in comparison to the already launched and tested weapons. SpaceX has contributed a lot to our spaceflight vernacular, showing just how far the company has come in its first 20 years. Elon Musk founded SpaceX on March 14, 2002, with big dreams of creating reusable rockets, commercial spacecraft, and other advanced technology. The eccentric innovator had said that few believed it was possible during an era when space agencies still dominated the industry, and space hardware was mostly expendable, save for a few examples like NASA's Space Shuttle and its solid rocket boosters. But today, things are different. He is taking charge on the big stage, daring to challenge prominent leaders like Joe Biden and Vladimir Putin. Now, 20 years later, SpaceX is a dominating force of its own. And as Musk envisioned, the company is now regularly launching and landing rockets while carrying payloads for a wide range of customers, from private companies to NASA and the United States Space Force. Its entry into the military space won't come as a surprise to many who know Musk as a dare me not type of guy. Musk and SpaceX are in the headlines a lot, and the coverage isn't always positive. In 2018, for example, the billionaire entrepreneur sipped whiskey and took a puff of marijuana during his 2.5-hour live appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience, prompting a NASA safety review of SpaceX practices. That same year, Musk insulted an individual involved in rescuing Thai boys from a flooded cave. On top of that, the Starlink constellation was causing worries about orbital debris and interference with astronomy observations. And yet, Musk persists in being himself, and his company remains one of the most powerful in the space industry today. With this latest project, SpaceX will reap big rewards, and it's expected to land major projects in developing future military weapons. Musk has been in the public eye more than his fellow space billionaires, partly because of SpaceX's many high-profile successes, and partly because he's a very active and sometimes controversial Twitter user. Developing a military spacecraft will require just a little twist of ideas, considering Musk and SpaceX are almost done creating Starship, which has been christened the holy grail of space travel. And the billionaire is proud of what he is witnessing at his company. "This is really some wild stuff here," Musk said, speaking to a crowd of employees, guests, and media. In fact, hard to believe it's real, except, it's right there. Musk's obsession with solving problems affecting the world didn't start by trying to help Ukraine beat Russia. It's always been there in him. "I completely agree that the vast majority of resources should be dedicated to solving problems on Earth," the Tesla CEO said in a past event. He added more than 99% of our resources should be focused on terrestrial challenges, but maybe 0.5% should be space-focused. Starship is the nearly 400-foot-tall rocket that SpaceX has been developing with the goal of creating a vehicle that can carry cargo and groups of people beyond Earth. But imagine, what if he develops a spacecraft as big and powerful as the Starship? Wouldn't it just be fair for Putin to call off the war instead of facing such an apocalyptic machine? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Musk presented the rocket as crucial to establishing a human presence on other planetary bodies, such as the Moon and Mars, further advocating against the idea that space travel is frivolous. Musk declared that traveling to Mars is far from being some sort of escape hatch, as it will be extremely difficult and dangerous and tough. While SpaceX will need to develop Starship's interior and life support systems with contracts to deliver both NASA astronauts and private passengers to the Moon in the next few years, Musk said that the company is not focusing a lot on the issue currently. Probably his team is now focused on developing the spacecraft needed by Ukraine. He pointed to SpaceX's experience building life support systems for its Dragon spacecraft, which has flown 18 people safely to low Earth orbit, as a major boost to achieving his foreseeable goals. The latest reports from the Eastern European region are not so good. A Russian mortar attack on the Ukrainian town of Makariv in the Kiev region killed 7 people and hospitalized 5 on Friday, March the 18th, local police said. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has signed a decree that combines all national TV channels into one platform, citing the importance of a unified information policy under martial law. Ukrainian privately owned media channels have so far continued to operate since the start of the Russian invasion of Ukraine on February the 24th. Russian forces intensified their attack in the battered port city of Mariupol, with heavy fighting leading to the closure of a major steel plant. Local authorities pleaded for more Western help. Unfortunately, it seems striking a peace deal to end this conflict is not on the horizon anytime soon. The sooner Musk's spacecraft hits the ground running, the better. We strongly believe that the spacecraft deal was discussed in a meeting held earlier between Musk and the Ukrainian president. Watch this video to learn more about the meeting and what was revealed. We'll be bringing you on-time updates regarding the spacecraft development in our upcoming videos, so be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of them.